For centuries, people have turned to the Bible for comfort, inspiration, and hope. But what about adventure, entertainment, and fun? At Museum of the Bible, people experience the Bible in a whole new way. Through immersive exhibits and state-of-the-art attractions, the museum is bringing the hope and inspiration of the Bible to all people, all faiths, and all nationalities. Please help support Museum of the Bible. Visit museumofthebible.org to become a member today.
I know so many families are like me that are from around the country. It's on their bucket list to go. So how do you best describe what the Museum of the Bible is and what is waiting for them once they walk into the doors?
One of my favorite things about the museum is that we know people are going to come to DC and they want to see the monuments. They want to go look at the White House. They want to see all the other museums. Museum of the Bible does a great job of orienting families to the rest of Washington, D.C. for the rest of their trip. One of the ways we do that is we have a ride in our museum. Yes, an actual ride. So the kids will love that and the adults do too. And it flies you through Washington, D.C. and it shows you all of these different places in D.C. And there's only about 10 of them, but the reality is that there's so many more than that. But we just hit a brief few of them, and they show you the Judeo-Christian roots of America from its founding. So you have the scriptures that are hidden in plain sight. You have the frescoes and the paintings that are hidden in plain sight. It's all over the place. And so my favorite thing to say is that the museum is a great jumping off point for the rest of Washington, D.C. So we hope that families will come and they'll start at the museum and they just go out from there.
What is your best advice then to make the most of your trip? What's the general, typically how many hours does a family spend there? Do you need to block like an entire day there?
So biasly, I would say, of course, you want to spend the whole day there. But the reality is you will want to spend the whole day there. We have so many families that come in and they don't realize how big the museum is. They think it's a couple of hour visit and then you're out and you're off to the next thing. And they're heartbroken because they go, we just didn't know this is a full day thing. We're 430,000 square feet. We are 6 floors and 7 levels. So many, many football fields fit inside Museum of the Bible. So it's definitely a full day event.
There's also like a virtual reality tour too, right, of the Holy Land. Explain how that works.
That's right. So I think it's about a 10 or 12-minute experience, and you go in and you sit down in your little pods and you put on the virtual reality headsets, and we take you to the Holy Land, and we show you different sites. And as we show you those sites, we're also telling scripture as well that directly relates to what you're seeing while you're there. So again, just another way that we're bringing the Bible to life. It isn't something that's made up. It's something that happened in real space and real time, and you can see them today in Israel or at Museum of the Bible.
I'd imagine this is a place where both a lot of non-believers and believers, you kind of have to assume that both are going to be there. Is it a chance, I would imagine, I don't see how it could not be, to share the gospel, to really reach non-believers?
Yeah, you're exactly right. People from all walks of life come to the museum. We see that very plainly in our surveys. And the museum does a great job of laying out the facts. Our history floor is on the 4th floor, and we take you from ancient history all the way to modern day, and we show you how we got there. We show you why the books are ordered the way they are. They show you why we have the different versions of the Bible. It does an excellent job, again, of just laying the facts out, letting people decide for themselves. But our mission statement is inviting all people to engage with the transformative power of the Bible. We know that the Bible has those transformative qualities. We know that about the Bible. So we see that in our guest surveys. People leave these all the time, that it's thought-provoking. They believed one thing and they left believing another thing. I can't say enough about our scholars, our curators, who have laid the museum out so carefully and with so much thought and in so much detail that it causes people to have those critical thinking moments, especially when they've come in with preconceived notions.
That's my heart and passion, is to get everybody really reading the Bible from beginning to end and understanding context. And I get so excited that this point in time where we live, there's so many different ways and opportunities and technology and different things that we can use to get the story and the message out.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a big context person, maybe to a fault. I'm always wanting to know the context behind these things. I think it drives some people nuts sometimes, but I totally agree with you. I've had the opportunity to go to the Holy Land quite a few times in my life, and I always come back, and it's true. I know it sounds cliche, but I never read my Bible the same afterwards. Um, I have that experience at Museum of the Bible. Uh, just going back to the way that our scholars and curators have laid the story out, have laid the facts out, it does bring you to a critical thinking moment, and it also layers that context on top. Of you go, I never would have thought about it like that, and it's partly just because we a lot of us have grown up here in the United States. We were raised in a church that is very maybe just potentially just very Western thinking, and we don't think about things with the context of 2,000 years ago in the Middle East. So that context really does help, and it really will. It's encouraged me, and it's helped me to read my Bible just in a totally different way, and it really brings it to life more than anything. It makes it more exciting. Sometimes we get bogged down in the details of the Bible, and we can even say that it's, dare I say, it's boring, but um, it isn't. And it just, adding that context just brings these stories to life, and it makes it so much more exciting to read them. So,
Well, you've done it. It wasn't going to be a tough sell, but I need to book my trip. I'm doing it now. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything on what your team is doing. I know it's not easy, but it's also got to be a joy to bring the Bible to life the way that your team is doing.
thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in Washington, D.C.